I remember when I was like 15, 14, 16, and I didn't know my ass from my elbow. And but I did know one thing. I wanted that lifestyle, man. I used to watch the Sidemen, right? They're like, if you're not from the UK, they're like the Mr. Beast of the UK. And specifically the GTA 5 compilation videos. Bro, whenever I saw an upload from them, I'd cream my pants. Like, I knew that'd be a good night because it would be something to watch whilst I eat or something to watch before I go to bed. And I knew I'd go to bed happy. That's what I knew that for sure. Everything else, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just kind of just. I had no direction at that point. I don't know what I was doing. And it's only now that I'm beginning to understand that it was much more of a distraction than it was something I genuinely enjoyed. It was an escape. It's probably why I love video games. It's probably why I had like a weird addiction to horror. It's probably why I was good at the uncanny videos when I first uploaded them. Um, I was good at escapism. Let's put it like that. And I feel like it's a common problem, especially with guys. What I'm trying to say is I was making as many excuses as I could when I was younger to not actually focus on myself. And, well, I mean, judge for yourself, but I remember when I was 16, specifically Valentine's Day. Was it February 14th? My mom had been brought in from the hospital and she was in a coma. And it was like 7 a.m. in the morning. And me not knowing what was going on, all my cousins and everything were coming over, like the night before, and I was like, I haven't seen some of you guys since I was a kid. Like, I don't know who you are, and I had all these aunties and uncles hugging me and kissing me, but like, oh, I haven't seen you since I don't know who you are, bro. And then my mum comes in and on a stretcher in a coma, 7 a.m. in the morning, Valentine's Day. I'll never forget it. And my dad's in tears, bringing her into the first living room, and she's just there on the bed, and I'm thinking she's asleep. But something's not right about her. Now, this is me at the time. Something's not right about her, and to give some context, she had leukemia cancer, which is bone marrow cancer, which, for those who don't know, is pretty much incurable. Now, if you come from a working class background, then you're pretty much fucked. And at the time, I was just like, God has a weird sense of humor because I'm watching these guys on YouTube living their life. I feel like I'm old for whatever reason. Like, they're playing GTA and getting paid for it, and they get to order whatever food they want, eat whatever they want, go wherever I want to, and I was just like, I'm stuck with this, man. And my teenage life was just spent watching my mum die. And I guess going into gore and horror and get feeding that addiction was my coping mechanism because the more I normalized, I don't know, like an ISIS beheading or like people getting blown up in Syria or something, the more I desensitized myself to that, the more I could tolerate the fact that I'm watching my mum die in front of me. And I was by her foot when she died. I'll never forget it. She was on the stretcher. I was by her foot. And then there's something they don't tell you about death. It's only after. Death tells you who you are. Like, witnessing death, if you've witnessed someone die, or you've seen someone who's seen someone die, like someone's lost a relative or something like that, that it really shows you who you are. It either makes you or breaks you. And for me, it was. Yeah, it sent me down this whole. It showed me who I am, and it made me understand that I was an escapist. I loved not acknowledging the situation I'm in, pretty much, and I just made excuses to not focus on myself because the world's against me and I'm fucked and there's no way out of this. But the main thing was right. The main thing was working on myself was the harder option because that's just gonna take too much effort, and I just felt like I was old to that lifestyle. And it took me up until I was like 18, 19 to finally stop making excuses. And whether it was insecurity, whether I felt like I wasn't good looking enough, whether my voice sounds annoying, I cringe at listening to my videos after I make them. Like, I can't listen to my own voice without cringing inside or dying inside of it. There was always something. And eventually, I got pissed off at myself for making excuses because you have to get to a mental point where, like, enough is enough. Do you know what I mean? You need to recognize it's pattern recognition. You get to a certain point where you've made enough excuses, and you look at yourself from a third person and you realize you're not getting anywhere by making all these excuses. And I'll be honest, I my face reveal video was yesterday, and all the comments have been really supportive. By the way, I really appreciate all you guys for that. But it was the same thing for the longest time. I kept making excuses to not put a video out, to not be consistent, because who's gonna watch me, man? Who's gonna give me the time on day? Because everyone, the YouTube videos have been done. Everyone's got all the ideas. Everyone's done it better than me. It's been done. But that's the thing, man. Your mind is your worst enemy, and it took me a long time to understand it. And I hope this helps someone out there who feels like they're meant for more, which I imagine is you guys watching this. The excuses will never stop. You will always make excuses. You just need to be able to recognize from like a third. You need like like a third person narrative needs to be in your head. You need to like be able to look at yourself from a third person perspective and be like, okay, I see what I'm doing. I see this is an excuse. I see that, okay, this is an insecurity making me feel like this, or okay, I have experienced this trauma and it's going against me. Like, knowing what to do to improve yourself is pretty easy. It's just the work that you have to put into it that puts most people off. And I wish I could go back to my 19-year-old self and just slap myself across the face and be like, you're sitting on a gold mine. Because once my YouTube channel popped off, bro, if I stayed consistent, I would have been. I'd probably be in a different place by now. But I fell back into the same trap. I started making excuses. I stopped uploading for like a year or something, and I was like, "There's no point in me coming back to this because who's gonna watch me, man? My audience has grown up. You guys don't care. Everyone's at a different point in life." But I got to that point again where I was just like, I'm just making excuses. And if you want that life, if you want the life that you watch on YouTube, like, I live in a box. You can't get any lower than this. Which is why I feel like, because my back is up against the wall right now, everything's on the table. Like, I ain't leaving anything off. I'm doing everything. I don't care. I don't care. And it's easy. It was weird to say this, but it's easier for me to say this because I have my back against the wall. Some of you guys, back when I was younger, I guess I was comfortable. I was living with my parents, and so I had the luxury of making excuses. But you need to make yourself uncomfortable enough to where you put everything on the table. And like I said, you're always going to find a reason not to do it, or not to put yourself out there, or not go talk to that girl, or not upload a video for the first time. It took me months to get any traction on this YouTube channel. Any traction. So this ain't my first channel, by the way. I've had multiple channels, and this was probably my third attempt. This channel, my third attempt at trying to do something, and I, I'll never forget the feeling. It was, I think, my second Uncanny video, season one, episode two. For you OGs out there, Andy Gaming. I think you were there from day one. You're one of them guys. I went to bed after I uploaded that video, and then I woke up the next day with like 100 notifications and like 200 subscribers, and I was like, oh shit, something's happened. And then that was it. And then once I saw traction after months and multiple times failing, all of it just disappeared. I forgot about all of the work I put in, and all I focused was what I was looking at that moment. Like hundreds of notifications and loads of people sending comments and shit saying, "Oh, I shit my pants. This is really scary. Oh my god!" And a bunch of subscribers. And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm on crack. This is what drugs must feel like." And I kept going, and I fed that addiction, and I didn't know what to do with it at the time. It just felt so good. I just kept making episodes and episodes and episodes. I guess this is not your typical kind of motivational video or self help video because that eventually crashed and burned, and I'm back at square one. But the message I'm trying to get across is in my last episode, in my last video, I was talking about you can't do the work because you need a mentality. You need to be like mentally there in order to put the work in. And I feel like this is my goal, I guess, to get you guys into that mental place where you feel like you can put the work in. And to get there, like I wish I could tell all this to my younger self, and so I'm more prepared for this sort of thing. But there's just a few things you need to accept, like some hard truths you need to accept. And it's that it's a long game. Success is a long game. You'll get a few outliers, obviously. In like it's just in any set of statistics, you'll always have a set of anomalies, and that's just you'll only see the people that actually make it. You won't see the hundreds of people that failed and gave up and cancelled or didn't go through with it or couldn't stay consistent. You only see the people that actually made it. That's why there's only like a couple hundred at least massive YouTubers. Like you could probably name like a good 20 massive YouTubers like off by heart from memory. That's 20 out of how many hundreds of thousands of YouTube channels, hundreds of thousands of people who have actually tried to be something on YouTube. And I'm one of them people who's trying again because I have nothing to lose, and neither do you. So yeah, that's the first rule. It's the long game, and you need to be able to put out, and you need to love what you do. Like I was really excited to just make another video just for the sake of making a video. And even if this gets, I mean, the last video I feel like did quite good, 500 views, ain't bad. But I want to go for more, and I'm not gonna stop. But yeah, if there's one thing I could tell my younger self, is that it's gonna be a long game, and you need to be okay with that. It took me 2 months. I guess I was lucky. Maybe the algorithm favored me, but you don't know how long it's going to take you unless you try. You need to put your, like I said in the last video, you need to put your foot on the accelerator and not take it off. There's only one way you find out, and that's by putting yourself out there. You just have to put yourself out there. And just one last thing, because I feel like this video is going on for too long. That voice in your head that's telling you, "Oh, I'll start when it feels right, or I'll start when I've done this, or this feels perfect, or I fine tune this, or I'm at this position." You will always move that goalpost to something else, and by the time you get around to actually doing what you're meant to be, or what you want to do, it'll be too late, man. That energy, that fire in you would have burnt out by then, and you would have settled for something else. Just stop thinking. Just stop thinking and just do it. Just post a video, release a song, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to achieve. You need to. It's more quantity than it is quality when you start out, and then through the quantity, the more you do it, then you focus on quality. That's what I did with my Uncanny videos. That's what got me to 40K subscribers. I know I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I know I don't have much traction now, but from a guy who touched the balls of glory, I fondle them. I can talk from experience. Okay, you need to just start. Okay, stop thinking. Fuck that voice in your head that's telling you, "Oh, I'll eventually get to that point where I can actually do it." You just need to start, and don't worry about failing, bro. There's there's people who I was insecure as fuck about doing a face reveal, but I don't care, man. Take it from me. Take it from a brown guy, some random guy on the internet. Take it from me. If I can do it, random guy in his box room, middle of Manchester, so can you, man.